Welcome to Pink Cheesecake Podcast, the musings on the pursuit of a happier life.
We kind of did ourselves a disfavor on naming our podcast.
Why?
It's a lot of words that aren't very easy to say.
Yeah, it doesn't roll off the tongue very well.
No, you really have to think about the whole.
Is it the musings on the pursuit of a happier life? That's a long tagline.
It is a long tagline,
but it's a pretty good description.
Oh,
right?
it's a great description. Yeah. No, it works. We can't change it now.
No.
And
pink cheesecake is just kind of funny, right?
It is very funny.
Yeah, I like it.
I love it. I hope you guys love it.
Yeah. And we're on episode 4 today, right?
No, we're not. We're on episode 5.
Oh my gosh, we're on episode 5.
We're halfway to 10.
All right, we did it. 5 is good. Great. 5 is good. So today we are taking a break again. We kind of took a break last time, episode 4 of this whole Yale class, which is fine. It's not like this whole podcast is about, that.
I think every podcast we should say we're taking a break from something. Just so you know that this podcast, if you're a listener, take a break with us. Just take a break. We've set no precedent on anything yet, really.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
We are winging it. We are new. We improvise this. We don't script this. Yeah. So take a break with us. Come along on episode 5.
Episode 5.
Our goal is to get 10 out. So I think we're going to make it.
I think we are.
Great. What do you got going today, Madison?
Okay,
She's the host. This is Madison, my daughter. I'm Stacy-Lee, Madison's mom.
Yeah. So going off of our musings on the pursuit of a happier life.
Let's muse.
I think what made your life happy and my life happy, but mainly yours as a mother, was...
Oh, the topic is parenting.
Being a mom.
Topic is parenting.
I would like to talk about parenting today.
Okay.
Because I think you have a lot to say on it. If you could write a book, that would be even better. But
well,
we're going to start with a podcast for now.
The joke was when I was a young mother, I had some dear friends say to me, you should really make a pamphlet.
A pamphlet?
Just make a pamphlet about all of your parenting.
Just like bullet points.
Quirky ideas. And I go, would it be a trifold pamphlet? Or would it be a stapled pamphlet?
I like that as a pamphlet. Like it could have been anything.
Not a magazine.
Nowadays it would have been a blog.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nowadays.
So
you do have a few things to say about parenting.
Yeah. So I don't really have I don't have that all set up. So I hope you do in your mind about how that's supposed to be. I have a couple questions for you that we could go off of.
That would be a great way to start.
So I guess we can start with the first thing, which is children. How many kids did you want to have?
How many kids did Tom and I want to have?
Because I feel like we want to know your heart around parenting first. Sure. And I feel like a good way to do that is what was your heart toward children and parenting in general? It wasn't just we had children. Okay, great. It was I think that you and Dad were both really passionate about.
We were very intentional.
Yeah, so it was intentional.
I want to say before we start talking about parenting this is the most personal topic of my whole life.
Yeah.
Is parenting, because I feel so passionately about it that it is the most true self of who I am is being a parent. So I get kind of nervous about talking about parenting because I think as humans, we all, 100% of us, and if you lie about it, you're lying. We all have judgment, ideas, opinions about parenting, whether you have a child or not.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Right? I mean, It does not matter who you are. You've seen a child, you've made a judgment. Mm-hmm. You have said, I'll never do that. I'll always do that.
Mm-hmm. Or that'll never happen to me. I'll never be that.
My kid will never do that. My child will never be this.
And then you have a 3-year-old and you go, oh.
But I'm just saying.
Never mind.
So when I share my passion about being a parent, I'm putting myself and my heart wide open.
It's kind of like what we talked about in episode 4, which is vulnerability and sharing.
Right.
It's very personal. You don't mean to offend anybody. We're not.
No.
You're not saying this is it and this is the only way. Absolutely not.
No. So
it's just a story on how you experience parenting, and then the positive aspects on. Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, but in sharing, I am going to put myself out for judgment.
Yeah.
for people to go, wow, she did it that way, or she thought that way. And I have to be mature enough to accept that.
Absolutely.
Because it's my parenting journey.
Yep.
And
that's what I want to talk about. Because I think sharing a journey too is not necessarily preaching.
Oh, no.
Sharing a story or an experience is not saying like, oh, this is the only way. Like everybody knows, or everybody should know, like you have your own experiences and certain things work for certain people and things like that.
Yes. Yeah. I am no expert.
No.
Maybe I'll make a pamphlet someday. Maybe we'll just do this podcast.
Yeah.
So I am going to, it's intimate, our decision to parent.
Okay.
When Tom and I, and like everybody's family, it unfolds differently sometimes than you plan. So you can have dreams or a plan, and then God decides and knows what's best for your family. Yeah. So, the bottom answer is Dad and I wanted as many children as we thought the Lord, wanted to give us.
Yeah.
As hippie dippy as that sounded, we really were open to his blessings. We just believed that children were a blessing, and we really didn't want to do anything to prevent those blessings from coming into our lives. So I fully expected to have 6 girls. I didn't expect to have any boys.
You got one of me.
I got one of you, which equals 6 girls in one daughter.
That's so true.
Isn't that amazing?
That's funny. I kind of encompass all of what any sort of girl you could possibly.
I got all 6 of my daughters in one, and I never even thought about that.
I didn't think about that until now.
Right now.
I'm a little bit of every type of girl.
But I've had zero trouble with you. You've been absolutely almost perfect. So no trouble. So
almost
we wanted a lot, and we ended up having 3, which was perfect. God knew best. So we have a daughter, and then we had 2 boys. So we have 3, and it was perfect. That's my answer.
Do you know why you and Dad were both passionate about having that many children, or parenting in general? Like did you guys both come into marriage wanting that on your own, or was that something that you both decided on?
I was never a dreamer as a child or a planner.
Okay.
I never was that type of kid where I ever dreamed about my wedding or dreamed about my marriage or my future.
Okay.
It just wasn't kind of set up that way or built that way. So I think we both just kind of winged it, so to speak.
Yeah.
I don't even think we even had to have big discussions about anything.
Sure.
Dad and I were lucky in the fact that
Sorry, I am listening.
In our relationship, we had to have a billion conversations about the teeny tiny things, but we never had to have conversations about the really big things.
Interesting.
A subject would come up like kids or homeschooling or church or something, and we would look at each other and go, homeschool? Yeah. Co-sleeping? Yeah. As many kids as God wants? Yeah. I mean, we never had to. I think
that's a blessing. Like, how do you those are kind of big conversations, and
we never
Okay, so that was it was just natural almost between your relationship.
God put us together, Tom and I, to have those big decisions were already planted in the 2 of us.
Okay.
So we didn't ever have to debate, lament anything. So we were very, very blessed that way. What are you laughing about?
My next question.
Okay. Did I even answer that last one?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was just funny. I wrote, do you consider yourself a good parent?
What a terrible question.
What a terrible question.
Like, everybody better say yes.
First of all, it's like almost a condescending question. And then also it's just funny from your daughter, but
I didn't think of that. Yeah, it is you asking me this. I mean, humility-wise, could I have made improvements?
Yeah.
Sure. Of course. But no, I do think...
Yeah, I think you're a good parent.
I think I was a good mom.
So what are some of your favorite like parenting books or resources? Like a lot of your resources were probably people. Like from what I understand is that there were lots of people who were influential in your life regarding parenting, or no? No.
I feel like I did it really freestyle.
Okay.
Parenting. I think they call it now free range parenting. Even though I wasn't a free range parent, I think that my style was really freestyle. I really let my intuition and my heart and my passion towards you guys, my children, led me. I really didn't get a lot of influence from other people because I also didn't feel like this sounds so bad. I didn't feel like I needed it. I wasn't lost. I gave birth to you. And the day I found out I was pregnant with you, I knew this is why I was born. Period. The only reason I was born was to be your mom.
Yeah.
And then be the boy's mom.
Yeah.
So I fulfilled my life purpose by being a mom.
Yeah.
So I never felt lost, confused. I never wondered about in the wilderness, how should I parent? What should I do? I need to read and learn. And I just had it inside of me.
Yeah.
So, but that's not to say I didn't have friends. And my Christian mentor woman, longest adult friendship that I had, I observed her being a parent. She was a few years older than I was and had many children.
Yeah.
And I observed what she did.
Yeah.
And I would take subconscious notes. So I think the advice that I got from her, but it was nonverbal, was I listened to her speak up to her children.
Okay.
I noticed the way that she respected her children.
Yeah.
And I had never noticed that in any other parent before.
Okay.
Most of the parenting experiences I had with other people, I would see a parent speaking down to their child, a lot of baby talk, or treating your 2-year-old like a 2-year-old. And then I watched this woman treat her 2-year-old like he knew better, like he was 6. A 2-year-old can take a plate and clear it from the table and put it in the sink.
Absolutely.
It may not be graceful, but he can physically do that.
Yeah.
So I observed that, and I thought that really resonated with me. And Dad and I both felt like we had children to have adults. Mm-hmm. We didn't have children to keep children.
Mm-hmm. Right.
We had children so you guys could be adults and you could be on the planet for 80 years. Mm-hmm. I have a lot to say about this because I remember somebody saying to me about one of my labor with you.
Okay.
Was 4.5 days.
Yeah. Sounds terrible.
It was a really long time. And you were 17 days past your due date. And it was horrific C-section to have you. And I remember somebody saying to me, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you'd ever want to do that again."
Yeah.
And I thought, but it was just 4 days out of 80 years.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't I do that again?
Yeah.
God and me and Tom created a person to be here for 80 years on the planet. Mm-hmm. What wouldn't I do for 4 days?
Yeah.
It was a no-brainer. Of course I'll do that again.
Right.
Are you kidding me?
Right.
So again, I don't know if
the whole idea of children is just incredible though, if you really think about it.
Well,
it's amazing.
It's 100% the top miracle.
Yeah.
Of all miracles.
Like looking at your child and you go, how is it half of me and half of him? Like it's really amazing.
It's incredible.
And then it's his own little person, own little soul.
I know.
You can't say that's not spiritual. You can't say there's no. It's so powerful. Yeah.
Yes.
It's pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm. So really, I dabbled in reading some books, mm-hmm. and maybe when I was pregnant, I read some, nursing books, and I think I was introduced to co-sleeping from my sister-in-law, and then I read a book about it just to see, is that even a thing? You don't have to put your baby in a crib? What was that? Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Tom and I were like, it was so great when we realized that we didn't have to put our baby in a crib. I know. See, I'm being very vulnerable and I can hear everybody freaking out.
Yeah.
We never, ever put any of our children in a crib. Ever. We just didn't. And we couldn't have imagined it any other way.
Yeah.
It was so natural.
Yeah. Yeah.
We didn't have a single minute of doubt that that baby did not belong in between us in bed.
Yeah.
As long as possible.
Yeah.
And then when the next kid came, then we had this futon out in the other room, and then each kid just slept with the next kid. So then at the end, I had 3 kids sleeping in a futon together.
For a little while.
Yeah, for a little while.
Yeah.
But it all worked out so well.
Yeah.
Okay, can I say something funny about my husband and co-sleeping? Okay, I think I loved co-sleeping because you could nurse laying down. That was a miracle. If you can lay down and nurse your baby, you can sleep, the baby can eat, you never have to get up. I never had to get up in the night. When we had our last baby, Mac, and he was getting big. He was a big boy. And I was getting done after 3 of having people in our bed for a long time.
Yeah.
I was ready for him to move into the futon with you and your brother. So
Did we really sleep in a futon that long together?
yeah, yeah, it was wonderful. So it was time for him to move in to go sleep with you guys. And Tom went through so many withdrawals. He would say, can we go get the baby? The baby was like 2.5. He was huge. Can we go get him? Can we go get him and bring him back? I'm like, no, we're finally don't have
free.
anyone here.
We're
I think
free.
it's okay. Well, I can't sleep. I need him. To the point where I thought I was going to buy my 50-year-old husband a doll to sleep with.
My God.
No, I'm not kidding. I thought, okay, Tom is having a much bigger problem than I'm going to buy him a doll.
That's funny.
Dad needed to sleep with the doll.
No, he just wanted Mac.
He just wanted Mac.
Michael
he just wanted a baby back.
Michael's
at the bed.
a little bit of the same way with Mikey.
Yeah.
Just connection, that a little bit obsession of how is my son not with me right now?
Yeah.
Michael
Yes.
gets scared if we go, not scared, but he
I
gets
know,
like,
anxious.
just why would we ever leave him with Grandma?
I know.
Why wouldn't we take him everywhere? Why wouldn't he be with us at all times? He just is so.
Dad and I were like that too.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your next question?
A little bit of what you were talking about. I want you to keep going about. I guess your favorite and most successful strategies. Like one of the strategies was like, your maybe like starting. Maybe we can like talk about it starting through like toddlerhood into elementary age and then into high school. Like, what were your favorite things that you felt like were really successful?
Okay, you're making my freestyle parenting sound very clinical.
I like to read. I like lists. I like research. I like that kind of thing. And so that's why
I think that my new friend Ashley was right. I think I am a hippie.
Oh,
somewhere.
For sure.
Really?
I don't know why you ever thought you weren't.
Because
how do you ever think that you're not like that?
I don't know. I feel
especially after I left, when I grew up and left our house and our small town, I was like, oh my gosh, my mom is a hippie.
Seriously?
So much. Like I started noticing like other people and how they like reacted to one another or like just talk to one another. And you're like, the way you talk to people, the way you like everything is just very different from everybody else. So then I was like, that's why people react certain ways toward her. Like other people will react to certain ways or like kind of tease you about stuff.
Oh yeah, I get teased a lot.
And growing up, I was like, why are you teasing her? Like that's just her personality or whatever. Well, but definitely like now I'm like, oh, that's because that's not average. That's not normal.
Okay. So strategies.
Anyway.
Again,
I just wanted to like tell the stories of like what you thought was successful in certain ways.
I think was successful. Again, that's such a big word. Okay, so I think that reverse psychology, without calling it reverse psychology. So
in what age?
Oh, right away. I mean,
but like throughout?
Okay, but listen.
Maybe throughout.
Reverse psychology actually in my language was sarcastic parenting.
Okay.
Tell me you agree. You were in my house. The more sarcastic and reverse psychology I could pull, the more compliant you guys were.
Okay. So you noticed a difference in behavior and obedience or whatever you want to call it.
Oh yeah. If I
like
teased,
positively, you noticed a positive.
And I did the reverse of what I really wanted you to do.
Okay.
So, okay.
Well, I think that just goes against, that's human nature though. Like,
I know.
So you knew that like kids are not made, like we aren't born compliant. Like humans are not born to
No.
to comply and submit. Like that's just the way humans
when
are.
you were a baby, no, but when you started walking around, and not when you're babies, but
No, I mean like when we're toddlers.
when you're toddlers and your personalities start to come out.
We start saying no all the time.
So the no's and then the whining would start, right? And I would say, "Oh, that's all you have? You can't whine louder? Whine louder. Oh, aren't you going to throw yourself on the get on the floor? Commit to this request." I would say, I'm like, that is not good enough. You want the blue cup? I gave you the red cup.
Yeah.
Show me how bad you want that blue cup. And you guys would stop and look at me and you'd be like, what is this crazy woman saying? Like you couldn't believe it, but it would work. And then you'd be happy with the cup that I gave you.
So do you think it was just like kind of a distraction?
It was
almost?
a total 100% distraction. Distraction worked 90% of the time. 90% of the time I would not have to punish. I could distract.
Yeah.
I could sing, I could dance, I could whisper.
That's what I'm passionate about as a parent, because then now 2020, it's a lot of like gentle parenting is a little bit.
Gentle parenting, yeah.
And I feel like you did like a combination of a little bit of gentle parenting in there, but a lot of it is just like a different way of,
I just
with the
wanted
child.
to have fun.
Yeah.
I had kids to have fun
Yeah.
because it was my favorite thing in the whole world.
So my question is, did you do that every single day? Like every single time that there was like a little bit of
Sure, but
or was it
I'm normal.
Yeah.
And I had
bad days where you're just like, just take the
just do
cup
it
and
seriously,
get out of here.
or and if
Yeah.
you weren't going to pick up your puzzle pieces, and there were why we had puzzles. Seriously, young parents, puzzles are not worth it ever.
Don't get anything with like little pieces. They're not going to build it.
It's not worth it.
It's not going
because they'll never clean it up. You'll clean up puzzle pieces for the rest of your life.
That's the one good advice we're giving you today.
Right? Is puzzles.
There's no
there's
no
advice.
solid advice, but just that.
Just
Don't
puzzles.
Get puzzles.
Don't get puzzles. Anyway, and so I was earnest in the fact that I really needed you to know when I said clean up your mess, to clean up your mess. So
You even said that. That's your famous quote. When I was like, I think we were still in Sunrise.
yeah, you guys are little, and
I was young. I was
said,
like 11. You said the only thing I ever mean is I love you and clean up your stuff.
it's true. I did
was
end
it.
up saying that. The only two things you ever have to know.
No, maybe that was when we moved, but
I love you and pick up your stuff.
we were like crazy messy kids. We left
you?
our stuff all over the place.
you did.
But I think it was because we were homeschooled and like
Right.
there really wasn't like okay, now these things go here. We just like hung out at the kitchen table
were in
all
our
day.
pajamas all day.
Yeah, there wasn't a sense of like, I mean, our house was organized, but like there wasn't a sense of like
Urgency.
urgency if of anything. So yeah, if I was working on a project, of course I was going to leave it on the kitchen
Right.
table for 2 days because I was going to keep coming back to it.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you're like, nothing on the kitchen table anymore. And we were like, what do you even mean? Like, this is not
maybe
your...
someone was coming over.
Well, obviously now I know as an adult, like there was reasons for it, but we just couldn't wrap our heads around it.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, distraction.
Okay. So a lot of sarcastic. Sarcasm.
And then what happened is I got really smart kids.
Okay.
Sarcasm really...
I was going to say, do you think that like made it a little bit, like maybe changed a little bit of who we were? Like molded
yes,
a little bit of our...
we never did it in a rude way. We never did it in a mean way.
Where you're like making fun of us.
No, we would never, ever. People will think that, sarcasm is rude or mean. No.
Yeah.
We always did it in a good humor way, in a very positive way, in a funny way, in a way to shock you in a distractive way.
Right. Right. Yeah, I suppose.
Sometimes I would say, do you remember if you guys are doing something and it was hard and you'd get frustrated, what I would say
you told me to quit every time.
I'd say, just quit.
Just quit.
Just quit what you're doing. And you guys would be like, you're not supposed to tell us to quit. You're supposed to tell us to
I remember
keep trying.
I remember when I was like, why would you tell me to quit? I'm doing it. And then when I noticed you would do that to Mac or Danny, I would get right up and I'd be like, don't listen to her.
You try to sabotage me?
Yeah,
Thank you.
I was like, no.
I would say, just quit.
Yeah.
If it's too hard, just quit.
Yeah.
Because I knew you wouldn't. And it was funny as heck to say.
Yeah, I suppose.
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Any other?
I don't know
strategies?
that I can really... Strategies for what? to get you to behave or what?
Or even just like
timeouts did not work ever.
No, maybe to behave, but also like, to get our work done, or to be respectful, or to be good in public, or to get good grades, or like whatever you're like.
Okay, so when you got older, we'll skip around a little bit. I knew that as a homeschooler, for our schedule, I knew a September through May schedule wasn't going to work for us.
Okay.
Because I knew in December, when you have 4 hours of daylight in Minnesota, it gets dark so quickly. Yeah. That was not a productive month to school. Okay. It's cold. Okay. It's dark. Christmas is coming. It's a pajama month. Period. So I didn't make you guys do a lot of school in December. We did a lot of school in the summer. I just made the school year into June and July because in the summer, we could take our workbooks out to the trampoline. We could take them to the park. We could take them to the beach. We could take them to a picnic table. Summer was it was a productive time. And I just organically knew that as we were going along. Mm-hmm. Winter wasn't the best homeschooling months to do. We had a lot more success in the summer.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, and then like to get you guys to do your schoolwork, some days were battles. Some days, like you said, I would just really want you guys to get the work done because I would feel this internal pressure.
I'll also never forget the time that Danny was... he was young though, second grade, probably third grade.
Oh, and poor Danny. I'm sorry, Danny. Okay, go.
He's actually probably one of the smartest people I know.
He really is.
He was reading chapter books when he was in young. Second grade or something.
Oh no, I think he was in first grade.
He was reading the entire Boxcar Children's set.
Yes, the Boxcar Children's
And
books.
then he was reading the Old Testament.
Yes.
At night, like before bed. And this was while we were in Sunrise, so he was like 9.
He was young and he would tell me all about the Book of Kings.
Yeah.
And
So very smart. But to sit down and do his schoolwork was very difficult. And I'll never, ever, ever forget this excuse because he would come up with every excuse under the sun, every excuse to not do his schoolwork during the day or whatever you had to sit down to do it. And I like to say I'm type A. I think part of me is type A and then the other part is like a mess, hippie. But I loved my workbooks. I loved the check marks, like, ooh, I get to be done with this page. Okay, now turn the next page. And I loved that. So I could not understand why Danny didn't just do it. Like, just get it done.
Right.
And so he was like, and he dropped his pencil.
He dropped his pencil all the time.
Like it was
all the time. He would the pencil wouldn't stay in his hand.
No. And then
it would be under the table. Then there'd have to be some
limp hand. And then it was just this drama to pick it up.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'll tell you how I solved that.
No, I really want to say that his final excuse that I just lost it. I was laughing. I was like, what? How do you?
Okay.
And he was like writing on his pencil and he goes, oh, the glare from the lead on the pencil is giving me a headache.
I wrote it down and put it on the refrigerator. It was the best line to get out of schoolwork
the glare
of all time.
The glare
from the lead on the pencil gave him a headache.
I can't.
Is the best.
It's hilarious. Mm-hmm. It's hilarious.
Yeah. So I then did realize that you needed to get up and move around. So that's when I implemented, or even before, the running around the house.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And go, I'll time you. And the 3 of you fell for it every single time.
Oh
and
my
I
gosh,
would just
I remember that. I was so excited
and watch
every
you guys run around the house as fast as you could. I wasn't timing you.
I know, but you did. You're like, I'm counting.
I'm timing you. And then I would say, make it a race, see who can get there first. And I'd always know who was going to get there first. But that was a great way to burn energy.
Yeah. And just kind of like get your mind out of it. But I think even as adults, you have to do that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of any other.
I think we have to do this in a part 2.
You think so?
I do.
Do you have more parenting stuff?
Yeah, I think we do.
I'm excited then.
I know. I think that we're kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to do part 2 of the parenting. I think we've talked a lot.
Okay.
Do you have something to kind of close up
Yeah, I
podcast
kind of wanted to do some buzz questions quick with you.
I like the buzz questions.
And then we can do part 2 of parenting next time.
Yeah. Yeah, and especially if anyone has any questions, which kind of sounds silly.
I like that. I like that. We'll come back with a part 2 after we get some
experiences that you guys had.
Yeah, absolutely.
Comment, and we can talk about that. I'd love to chew up how you guys parented, or if you have a kind of wacky question about.
Yeah, what do you do if?
Yeah, or why we...
And also, like, just because a different experience, like, not because you're an expert or I'm an expert, but just, like, just to hear different stories.
Right, please, comment. Yeah. Okay, so what are your buzz questions?
Okay, so the first one's kind of funny, and it's definitely off topic. I feel like we need, like, a segue for the buzz questions, but
we don't need
there
a
isn't
segue.
one.
No.
We just, like, do it, and then we ask weird questions. Who would you want to play you in a movie of your life?
Okay, so I've thought about this.
Okay, really?
Yeah, because I had somebody at work ask me this.
Oh my gosh!
Time
Okay,
ago.
okay.
I want a combination of Joan Cusack and Leslie Mann.
Oh, Leslie Mann.
Because people have said to me in the past that I have reminded them of Molly Shannon. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, but no. But then Joan Cusack, because she is super funny, look her up. And then I had a really sweet girl at work a couple of years ago say that I kind of looked like Leslie Mann.
Yeah, you do a little bit.
Which I don't think so at all.
Oh, no, I think
she's
so, yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
You can look her up too.
Yeah.
So a combination of Joan Cusack and Leslie Mann. I want them to play me in a movie. Who do
That's
you
awesome.
want?
So I actually thought about this because I'm the one who, like, you know, I don't watch enough, like, movies and, like, so I thought a real life person.
A real life person.
Yeah. Because I think this person, like, really gets me and, like, who I am. And also is a little bit, like, very similar to me. It's not you.
Well, of course it's not me.
But
I'm really old.
But it was the only person I could think of who, like, would really embody, like, me and, like, what I've come through and my reactions to things and stuff. Abby Wager.
Okay, Abby
Abby
should
Wager.
play you.
She would play me so well because
she would.
I feel like we are so similar in so many areas of our life.
Yeah.
We're
really
both
good
like
friend of you. Nobody else knows.
Yeah,
who she
sorry,
is.
she's
Hi,
just
Abby.
my really good friend, and we're both overthinkers and dramatic and passionate and and like we laugh a lot, and I feel like she would. I feel like she would play me very well.
Good to know.
I decided she's an actress now. So.
Okay, good.
The next one is, do you love or hate roller coasters?
I hate roller coasters.
So funny, when we were growing up, I remember like stories of roller coasters.
My tummy just
like
went.
you would talk about roller coasters.
What?
Yeah. So then I was like, I don't know if she likes them or hates them.
I would talk about roller coasters.
I think you told me the story that you lost your phone on like the corkscrew.
I did lose I lost my phone, my purse. Didn't have a phone in 1982.
Your purse, whatever.
My
something
purse fell out of a ride at the amusement park.
I remember you said that.
Because it was a bad roller coaster where we went upside down and it went right into like
So you
hate
roller coasters.
And that's not why I hate them.
Oh, why do you hate them?
They're fast and upside down and not necessary for life ever.
Yeah.
I don't need that kind of thrill. I raised 3 children. I'm married. That's all the thrill I need. I don't need the thrill of a roller coaster. How about you?
I mean, I like always want to like them because I want to. Like every time I'm going to do it. It's a challenge. I'm going to do it. I'm going to force myself. I'm going to like face my fears and I want to like them. And then while I'm on them, I literally pray to the Lord the entire time. Like I feel like I'm closer to God on amusement park rides than ever in my life. And I'm not even
alone.
No, I'm serious.
No, I believe you.
I am in meditative prayer the entire time I'm on because I think I'm going to be the percentage. I'm going to be the one. Because every time I'm like, and then I go through the statistics in my head. I'm like, okay, certain people, like it happens. I'm like, I could be the one. It could be it.
In 90 seconds.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be a roller coaster. It could be any amusement park ride that's like way up in the air. Like it doesn't have to, like if it's on the ground, like the tilt-a-whirl.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, I'm all for it.
I love
I'm
the tilt-a-whirl.
all for it.
And the scrambler.
Sign me up. A little bit of the extreme swing at Valley Fair is, I love that one, but still I'm in deep prayer. But like,
Churching at the amusement park.
But like,
Jesus is everywhere.
He is
Good
everywhere.
for you, Madison.
But he's especially, I feel
that's our
especially
message
close to
today.
him on the roller coaster. But I'm praying that, you know.
That's really funny. So did it make it worth it then? Because you had a good time of prayer?
Yeah. I got some revelation on top of
I got through the whole New Testament.
Not necessarily. I don't know if like once I have more children, like if we go to those things, I feel like I might be the one to be like, I'll sit this one out with the scaredy cat kids, and then Mike will go with the good one.
The scaredy cat.
Yeah,
kids.
just like the kids who are like if we have a couple more kids, we'll probably have one or two that want to stay back, and then I'll be that parent.
I guarantee you will have no scaredy cat kids. I know you and Michael. All of your children will want to.
Yeah, I suppose. Anyway, so I'm kind of on the fence about it. I don't love them or hate them, but I feel like I don't really.
Final question.
This is a hard one. What is the one thing you will never do again? You don't have to go deep.
I'll never do again.
Mm-hmm. What's the one thing you'll never do again? Like not necessarily that you regret it, but just like one experience you had where you're like, not for me. Never gonna do that again. Is that weird?
Oh, okay. I thought I would never get on an airplane again.
Oh.
But that's such a limiting situation. It's just the first one that I could think of.
Well, see, I have a first one I can think of too, which is the Boundary Waters.
You hated the Boundary Waters.
I spent like 5-6 days in the Boundary Waters, and I canoed for miles. And I was always in the back because I could steer, and I wasn't very fast. The fast person's always in front. I was really good at it because I was the only one out of all the students. We went with a youth group. And so we were all high school kids, and we had to lead the way through. There were 6 of us, and then 2 main guides who knew the Boundary Waters well and how to do it. And out of the 6 high school kids who had to lead a day or something, I was the only one who didn't get us lost.
Because that's right. Your navigation skills.
Because I could read the map and read the compass perfectly.
Yeah, you're very good
And every
at that.
single one of those kids got us lost every day. And I was the last day, and I got us home. Maybe it was because I was so determined to get home because it was so terrible. But every day that I was canoeing, we canoed 6 to 10 miles a day.
Did you get close to the Lord during that trip?
A little bit, but I
I
imagined a helicopter coming over to us and then just taking me up with it and then bringing me back home.
That's what you wanted to happen.
I just kept fantasizing
you wanted to be rescued.
I just wanted to be rescued the entire time. And I kept thinking, how could I be rescued from here? There's no cars can't come here. It have to be, I call somebody and they get a helicopter out here.
You had no phone
and they
up in the
pluck
Boundary
me
Waters.
out of this terrible place. And the Boundary Waters are beautiful and amazing and wonderful.
But you never want to do that again.
And I wish I could do it again. I really wish I could experience the outdoors and the beauty of it and just feel at peace with it. But I just feel like I couldn't do it. It would just be
that's
terrible.
something you never want to do again. Yeah. Okay.
What about you?
Well, I can't. All I could think
Getting
of
on an airplane?
Getting on an airplane. Okay. Again, I hate to limit myself. I wish I could say that but
there's other ways of transportation.
There is choo-choo. I love the Amtrak.
Yeah.
Love the train.
So part 1 of parenting.
Yeah, I think
that's exciting that you have so much more to talk about in part 2.
Well, we're going to ask you about your parenting too. So,
oh boy.
Great. Okay. Thanks for joining us for episode 5.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. See you next time.